Right, guys, welcome to this live stream between the Blues and the Western Force. It should be a cracking game, and the Blues just need to win this in order to qualify for the finals. But a bonus point win will do so much more. It will secure them a home ground final. So let's quickly go through the lineups. Alex Hartman, Kurt Eklund, Nipo Lalala, Gerrit Cowley, Tiotti, Patrick Tuipolotto, Tom Robinson, Dalton Papali'i, and Hoskins Satuto in the front row. Then Finley Christie, Oteria Black, Mark Talia, TJ Fayani, Rico Ioane, Bryce Heem, and Zahn Sullivan in the back line. Then for the Western Force, Tom Robinson, Feletti Kaitu'u, Santiago Medrano, Jeremy Fruss, Timani, Fergus Lee Warner, Kane Koteka, and Ollie Callan for them in the front row. Then in the backline, Ian Pryor, Jake McIntyre, Jordan Oliver Feller, Carl Godwin, Kurandrani, Richard Kahui, and Jake Strachan will be for the Western Force. So the benches, Ray Nuya, Carlton Agafi, Marcel Renata, Josh Goodyear, Kira Iwadi, Jonathan Haruru, Harry Plummer, and AJ Lamb. Then for the Western Force, we got Reddy, Warner, Holmes, McCauley, Stunder, McDonald, Miotti, and Rob Carney. It should be a cracker of a game, guys. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect. We first have to see which Blues team show up today at Eden Park as they take on this Western Force side. I expect the Blues to win this quite comfortably, but you never know. They might just choke on their own flesh here today. We've seen in the past that the Blues have managed to choke on a few occasions, so let's hope that it's not going to be the case today as we get ready for this game. Just want to see whether I will be able to get some feed up here. Let's go and have a look here. Right, so I don't know if this is going to work. We'll have to wait and see as well whether it shows the time or not. But hopefully it does, and we will be in for a great game here between these two sides. Richard Kahui, the former New Zealand player, now playing for the Western Force. So it should be an incredible game, this one. The Western Force looking to upset the Blues and keep them from reaching that final of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. It all comes down to this game. Whatever happens in this one will determine the outcome of this competition as the Blues will get ready to run onto the field. They've won against the Rebels 53. They won the Waratahs 48-21. They've beaten the Brumbies 38-10. And they've beaten the Reds 31-24. And tonight they got that final hurdle against the Western Force as Patrick Tuipolotto brings out this Blues side for today's big encounter. Let's hope it's going to be one of those games that we can really look forward to and see whether they can actually win this game. It's going to be very, 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 very interesting to see whether they can actually do this. Right, big moments in this game coming up. Bryce Heem, one of the star players so far for this Blues side. Can he deliver the goods today and really show us what it's worth to reach the final of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman? We are looking forward to a really, really good game, guys. So the Blues now onto the field, so it's all or nothing for them today. The referee for today's game, Ben O'Keefe, he will be in charge of this big battle today for the Blues and the Force. Who's going to come out victorious after 80 minutes? We'll have to wait and see. But I think it might be the Blues here today. Who knows? It's all up for grabs in this game. Who knows whether they can actually do this? It's going to be a biggie as we get ready for the kickoff to this game. Right. It is going to be the Blues to get this game underway for us. Hopefully, we can see a really good game from them today. Right. Waiting for this kickoff to take place. It is the Blues to get this game underway. Zahn Sullivan to get this underway for us. And it is a nice high-hanging kick taken in by the Western Force early on. 5 meters out from their own 22 is the Western Force now. Gets the ball out to Tamani. Driven back in a tackle by Patrick Tuipoloto. Now inside their own 22 is the Western Force. Comes down to Carl Godwin, who kicks it downfield and is going to find touch roundabout between the 10 and the 22 inside Western Force half. Gander Blues secure top spot here in Super Rugby Aotearoa. Not Aotearoa, Trans-Tasman. Line out from Tuipoloto now. Finley Christie tackled behind the advantage line and support pass as well from him. So it is going to be a scrum down to the Western Force. Jeremy Frost making that tackle on Finley Christie. About a minute gone in this game. Can the Western Force disrupt this Blues side today? Or will we see the Blues celebrate at the end of 80 minutes to reach the final of the Trans-Tasman competition? It's been New Zealand teams all the way in this competition, so the Highlanders already booking their place in the final. It's now just up to the Blues to do the same. Scrum down to the Western Force. It is going to be fed in by Ian Pryor for the Western Force. And Neville says, good evening, New Zealand in the house. How's it going, man? Right, so the Western Force now with ball in hand on the 10-meter line inside their own half. It is Pryor. Out it goes to Lee Warner. Lee Warner's over halfway. Now it comes back to Carl Godwin. Out wide they go. Kurandrani. Good defense from the Blues. Knock on from Kurandrani. And it's going to be a scrum down to the Blue. No, the referee didn't see that little knock on. So play on. Tamani now. On the 10-meter line. On the attack now. Here's a chance for this fly off Jake McIntyre. But they're going to come back for a penalty to the Western Force. And Neville says, great, thanks. Shame about the Crusaders. Well, it's not over for the Crusaders just yet. If the Blues lose this game, then the Crusaders will qualify for that final. But we are expecting the Blues to win this quite comfortably as Jake McIntyre puts that into touch for the Western Force. Roundabout on the 10-meter line inside Blues half. So a little bit of an itchy start here for the Blues side so far. We'll have to wait and see how this game turns out. But at the moment, it is a throw-in from Kaitu out to Tamani. Now it's Koteka taking it up for the Western Force. Roundabout on halfway now. Ian Pryor. Pryor to Lee Warner. Over halfway they go is the Western Force now. Brian McIntyre. Godwin. Long pass out to Kahui, but it goes into touch. So going to be a line out to the Blues just inside the half of the Western Force. Opportunity for the Blues now to go on the attack. I'm a big Blues supporter from a South African. The Blues are my favorite team. So really backing them today in this game. Kurt Eklund with a throw into this lineup. He is going to find Robinson at the back now. Finley Christie. Out it goes to Fayani. Hoskins Satuto taking it up for the Blues. Just over halfway at the moment. Nipa Lalala. Finley Christie switches back inside to Hoskins Satuto. Now Finley Christie. Out it goes to Terry Black, who puts it to the boot. Chases on here from Bryceen. But unfortunately, that's going to go directly into touch. So all the way back to just inside the Blues half for a line out to the Western Force. Well, like I said, a very itchy start here to this game for the Blues. Utley says, hello, Guru. How's it going, Achilles? Welcome to this one. So as you know, the Crusaders didn't manage to outscore the Highlanders this morning. So it all comes down to this game now. Pryor out to Carl Godwin with a long pass out to Kahui. He's on to halfway. Western Force looking good early on. Pryor out it goes to Koteka. Driven back in that tackle by the Blues. Galitiati, and now it's been turned over by the Blues. Kick ahead from Hoskins Satuto. And it goes into touch roundabout 5 meters out from the 22 of the Western Force. 5 minutes gone in this game. Can the Blues secure top spot here today? They've got the destiny in their own hands today. Is this Blues side? Kaitu with the throw-in. Utley says Blues by absolute second favorite team. Now, definitely. First the Sharks, then the Blues for me. Right, throw-in has been stolen by the Blues. Here they come, Patrick Tuipoloto out to Kurt Eklund. They're 5 meters out from the 22. Can they get this ball back? Finley Christie. Out it goes to Terry Black. Now Mark Talia. Mark Talia needs to straighten this. Carl Godwin tackled him really well. Still just outside of 22 now. Robinson. Pick and go from him. Knock on from him, and it's been turned over by the Western Force. Oliver Fella puts this to the boot, and the chase is on now. Inside of 22. Bryce Heem's got it for the Blues. Tries to step Kurandrani. Can't do so. Manhandled there at the back of the... But it's been secured by the Blues 2 meters out from their own try line. And what a dart by the Western Force there. Finley Christie now securing the ball for the Blues. Taken up by Patrick Tuipoloto. Still 5 meters out from their own try line as the Blues now. They need to get this out. Finley Christie is going to kick this over the top of that ruck, and he's going to find touch roundabout between the 10 and the 22 inside their own half. Achilles says, why did I say second twice? I wanted to go rest for an hour. I guess not. Can't miss my team playing. Well, it is an important one for them. Kaitu now with the throw-in for the Western Force. Jeremy Thrust of the back prior to McIntyre. Kurandrani bashes it up through the middle. Good defense from the Blues, however. Now it's a chance. Lee Warner needs to try and get this away. Now Pryor. Out it goes again to Carl Godwin in the back line. Quick ball required here for the Western Force. Tamani puts his head down. Just around about outside the 22 of the Blues now. Jeremy Thrust loses a bit of ground there to run about the 10-meter line. Now Lee Warner again having a crack, but he knocks it on, and now the Blues have advantage. But the referee blows on the whistle, and it is going to be a scrum down to the Blues. Round about 5 to 7 meters out from their own 22. 7.5 minutes gone in this game. How about this start from the Western Force, really putting the pressure on the Blues side so far. Right, it's going to be a scrum down to the to the Blues, 7 or 8 meters out from their own 22. Let's see if we can pull up the screen again for you guys. Let's share the screen and go to this one. Let's see if we can pull the screen up. There we go. It's not the greatest, but it's there. Right, so 8.5 minutes gone in this game. Free kick to the Blues there from that scrum. It is the Blues 0, Western Force 0 after 8 minutes in this first half. All up for grabs in this game. Free kick coming the way after Blues now. They're going to have another scrum down. If I were them, I would have just thumped that into the air and chased after it. But they want some consistency, and they have gone with another scrum here. 8 minutes or 9 minutes into this first half. And so far, it's the Western Force who's been playing all the rugby. The Blues just defending for dear life so far. Finley Christie now with the scrum feed here for the Blues. Right, controlled at the back of that scrum now comes out to TJ Fayani. He puts a little cross kick to Mark Talia. It bounces beautifully for Mark Talia over the 10-meter line. He goes inside Western Force half now. Rico Ioane out to Oscar Satutu, switches back inside, and over he goes. Oscar Satutu is going to score the first try of this game for the Blues. Try time, 9.5 minutes gone in this game. Brilliant try from the Blues, and they're off to a brilliant start in this game. 9 minutes gone, or you could say 10 minutes roundabout, and it is now the Blues who's got 5, the Western Force 0. Let's see if this thing does update himself. Have to just wait a second, because this is the first time that I'm actually using this app to show the scoreboard. But it is a try down now for Oscar Statuto. Brilliant switch back inside from the pass from Rico Ioane, and Hoskins Statuto dives over for a brilliant try here after just run about 10 minutes of play. There we go. Updated, and the Blues lead by 5 points to 0. Great stuff from the Blues so far. Just their first real attacking opportunity. They handled the pressure really well in that opening few minutes from the Western Force, but now they finally managed to get over for a brilliant try by Hoskins Statuto. We've had about 11 in this first half conversion now coming up from Oteri Black. Can he get this? Is about 10 meters out from the left-hand touch line. Can he convert this? Great start for the Blues here, looking to get to the final of this competition and knocking out the Crusaders. Oteri Black with the conversion. That is a brilliant kick from him, and it's 7 points to 0 to the Blues after about 12 minutes in this game. Looking good for the Blues. First real attacking opportunity, and a little cross kick from Fayani to Mark Talia, who set up the go forward ball, and Enrico Ioane just switches back to Oscar Statuto for the try. Restart now from the Western Force, taken by San Sullivan for the Blues, just inside their own 22. Comes back, Finley Christie's got his hands on the ball. He's going to go with a little box kick over the top. It is chased down by Mark Talia, but taken beautifully by the Western Force. Now McIntyre gets bundled back in a tackle by Kurt Eklund, runabout on the 10-meter line inside Western Force half. And now a penalty to the Blues as well. Great stuff from the Blues, just putting the pressure on this Western Force side. Kurt Eklund winning the penalty there for the Blues. Unbelievable start here for the Blues after soaking up the pressure in his early exchanges from the Western Force. Tom Robinson, the guilty party there, who get penalized for that infringement. Guru, have you considered promoting some of us? You know the Blues names, so we can keep chat clean and such. What is that, Achilles? I don't really understand it here. Guru, have you considered promoting some of us? You know the Blues names, so we can keep chat clean and such. Can you please explain to me again there, Achilles? Now, the Blues on the attack again. Fayani about 10 meters out from the try line. Here they come. Opportunity for the Blues. Now, Lolala out to Kurt Eklund again. Finley Christie's got his hands on the ball. Now it comes out to the loose head prop, making his way forward. Now, Nipo Lolala puts his head down. Here we go. It is Oteri Black. Switches back to Rico Ioane on the inside. Good defense from the Western Force. Right, so Finley Christie now off the back. Comes out to Kauli Tiotti. Now Finley Christie. Patrick Tui Pelotto again, 5 meters out now from the try line as the Blues pick and go from the forwards again. Beautiful defense from the Western Force, just keeping them out now. Patrick Tui Pelotto again. Finley Christie waiting for it, but a penalty against the Blues, holding on there on the ground. And it's going to be a penalty to the Western Force. Achilles, I mean, you can make some of us like Rangers to keep comments clean, and I don't really know what it's called. So I'm not 100% sure how to do this, Achilles. Let's see if there's any way to do this. I'm not sure. If you can find out how it's done, then I won't mind doing that for you. Let's just see if I can maybe do something here. Can't do it from this side. Let's have another look on my YouTube account as well. So the Western Force now have the ball run about just inside their own half. And the line-out has gone astray for the Western Force, so the Blues have got it again. Opportunity here for them. 5 meters out from the 22. It's been stolen by the Western Force now. Pryor's got his hands on the ball. Now gives it out to McIntyre. Puts it to the boot, and it's going to go downfield. all the way inside the 22 now. O'Terry Black to Zion Sullivan, who's going to kick this downfield again, and he's going to find touch roundabout on the 10-meter line inside their own half. Achilles says, I will find out for you, mate. Thank you so much. So let's see if we can do this. Let's add you as a moderator. So I've tried to do that now, Achilles. Let me know if that works for you. Right, so 15 and a half minutes gone. It is Kaitu with the throw-in roundabout on a 10-meter line inside the half of the Blues. Line up taken by Jeremy Frost. Now McIntyre with a little chip kick over the top, chased by Carl Godwin. Collected by Mark Talia, and he beats two defenders. Running straight through the middle is Mark Talia now up to the 10-meter line. Inside the Western Force half now. Bryce Heem out to Fayani. Finley Christie to Kurt Eklund, back inside to Dalton Papali'i. And over the 22-meter line they go now. Finley Christie, Hoskins Satuto, Fayani out to Zion Sullivan, but a little forward pass there from the Blues, and it's going to be a scrum down to the Western Force. Right about 16 and a half minutes gone in this game. Achilles says, I think it worked. Yes, indeed. All right, so I'm glad that helped. There we go. You've got that little spanner next to your name. There we go. So now you have an opportunity to keep this chat clean, Achilles. Right, so after 16 and a half minutes, it is the Blues up by 7 points to 0. And they are looking really good on the attack so far. Patrick Tuipolotto really leading this charge by full force, and having a chat with him now as we're going to go to the first scrum of this game as well. Or not the first one, but yeah, is it the first scrum of the game? Can't remember. We've had 16 minutes. Achilles says, yes, Your Honor. Right, so yeah, it is looking really good for the Blues side so far. I really had this little bit of doubt in this Blues side today. Thought maybe because they choked so much in the past, I really felt that this one was going to be a jittery affair. And we've seen it in the opening couple of minutes where the Blues would make silly little mistakes, but they're now back in full force, full swing, and looking really good so far. The Western Force will have their work cut out if they're going to try and upset the Blues side today. As it stands, it will be a Blues Highlanders final next weekend for the Trans-Tasman Cup final. The Australian side absolutely hammered in this competition, winning only 2 out of, I think it's 23 games. So, yeah, there is an injury at the moment to Strachan. He went into the tackle very poorly and paid the price there. So, Rob Carney will be replacing Strachan in a short while. Guru, you should make a shirt that says the Rugby Guru, like a rugby jersey that you have on Rugby Challenge 4. I will definitely order it. So we could look into that, Achilles. I have been thinking of it. I know a lot of YouTubers do that. And I'll just maybe have to start looking at somebody who can actually produce this shirt. But it is something that I'm looking to do. Maybe a cap here or there. It is the start of the winter here in South Africa, so maybe a little cap or something with the Rugby Guru logo on it. We'll have to wait and see how things go. But it's definitely something that I'm planning on doing in the future. I think if we can get the channel up to, let's say, where we're currently at. We are currently on 2,370 subscribers. So let's say if we can take this channel to 3,000, we will definitely look at doing the merc for this one. Achilles says I would definitely buy a cap. So we'll look into it. I might just look at somebody locally here in town who can maybe produce it, and I can maybe advertise it in a separate video on my channel, and then you guys can order it from there. But what I've seen most of the guys do in the past is slip up. They go with big companies that overcharge, and at the end of the day, it's just too expensive for the fan to buy. So we'll look into it. We'll find a way to do this. Achilles says, I'll go do some recruiting, try and get some subs. Right, Achilles. I'm going to hold you to that. Right, so 16 and a half minutes gone. It does show 20 minutes here, but there was a little injury break to Strachan, so we now have the scrum down to the Western Force. Prior feeding that to the scrum. He's got it at the back now. Gives it out to Carl Godwin, who tries to bash his way up over the 22-meter line. They go now. Prior, out it goes to the big prop forward, Tom Robinson. The Western Force have got possession just outside their own 22 at the moment. Prior with a little box kick over the top. It is going to be collected by Bryce Simon halfway for the Blues. Can they get this ball back, or will there be a counter ruck from the Western Force? Now, Kylie Tiotti has got it. Nebo Lalala knocks it backwards. And now the Blues can kick this forward through Terry Black into the hands of Rob Carney for the Western Force. He's going to kick it downfield and straight down the middle. He's going to find Zahn Sullivan, run about 50 meters out from his own 22, gets the kick away, and finds touch roundabout on the 10-meter line inside the Blues half. Right, we've had about 18 minutes in this first half. It is 7-0 to the Blues here, and they're looking on song to reach the final of the Trans-Tasman Cup. For 2021, if they do win this, they will eliminate the Crusaders. Jeremy Frost getting that line out for the Western Force. Now McIntyre, good tackle from Finley Christie, disrupting the Western Force side there. Koteka takes it over halfway for the Western Force. Now Prior to Marnie, out to Lee Warner. Penalty advantage coming for the Western Force now. Prior, McIntyre, out it goes to Rob Carney, Richard Kahui. They're about 10 meters out from the 22 now. Here comes Tamani again. Carl Godwin, nice little run from Cullen, but it's been intercepted by Hoskins Satuto. But we are going to come back for a penalty to the Western Force, roundabout on a 10-meter line inside Blues half. We've had 18 and a half minutes gone in this game. Can the Western Force get some points of their own here? They will surely probably kick this into touch. They've got nothing to lose. The Blues have got everything to lose in this game. Will they choke or will they last? Will they be able to reach that final and knock out the Crusaders for that title race? Disappointing Super Rugby Aotearoa for the Blues. So they will definitely look to capitalize on this and win the Trans-Tasman competition. Achilles says, I'm so glad we will eliminate the Cruisies. LOL. No, it's been so long. I mean, I don't want to talk too soon. We are only leading by 7-0 at the moment after 20 minutes of play, with the Western Force now on the attack 10 meters out from the try line. But I do believe that this Blue side will win this game. Right, throwing coming from Kaitu'u for the Western Force now. 74% of the Western Force tries coming from lineouts. So there's a 74% chance of them scoring from this move now. Let's see what happens. Kaitu'u with this throw into this lineout. Big one coming up for them. They are going to get it. Jeremy Frost now. The maul has been formed, but they're going to run this. It is a Koteka making his way up to the 5-meter line. So 5 meters out from the try line now. Prior, out it goes to Tamani for the Western Force. Driving his way up. They need to defend this now. Prior, Carl Godwin, thumping tackle from Patrick Tupilotto. And it's been turned over by the Blues now. Finley Christie waiting for it. There's a little bit of a mix-up at the back here for the Blues, but they're going to run this from their own try line. TJ Fayani, 5 meters out from their own try line. They need to secure this ball and kick it. Finley Christie gives it out to the loose head prop there, again making his way up. It is Carl Renato who's at number 1 for the Blues. Finley Christie, he's going to try and snipe here. Pressure on the Blues. But a penalty now as Jeremy Frass gets caught offside. And a chance for the Blues to relieve some pressure after 21 minutes of play. They're going to give me a heart attack today. Is this Blues side just trying to do silly stuff from their own try line at the moment. Terry Black now to kick this downfield for the Blues. He is going to find touch roundabout on a 10-meter line inside their own half. So, bit of a frightening moment there for the Blues, but a brilliant tackle from Tui Pilato. Really disrupted Carl Godwin, turnover ball, and then they made a little bit of a mess up at the back with a silly pass. Put them under pressure, but luckily they got the penalty. And now they've got a line out on the 10-meter line inside their own half. Robinson takes it nicely. Maul has been formed. Now they're going to look to maybe drive it up a little bit here as the Blues. But the Western Force ball holding firmly at the moment. We've had 22 minutes in this game. Now Kurt Eklund off the back to Finley Christie. Gives it out to Oscar Satuto. Takes 2 to bring him down. Still in possession is the Blues now. Finley Christie. Finley Christie waiting for it at the back. Gives it out to a Terry Black, who thumps it down the middle of the field. And it looks like Rob Khan. No, it is going to be Oliver Fellows got it for the Western Force now. Western Force on the attack. Another big tackle from Mark Talia this time. Now Kurandrani's got it for the Western Force. Gets ripped by the Blues, and they've turned this over now. But a little knock on there in that movement from the Blues. It's going to be a scrum down to the Western Force just inside their own half. Very entertaining stuff so far from both sides. Really, the jittery feeling is there for this Blues side. As long as they're still not leading by more than 2 tries, I would feel a little bit uncomfortable saying that they were going to win this for sure. This Western Force side packs brilliant players in the form of Richard Kahui, Tavita Kurandrani, Rob Carney, Oliver Fella, and then obviously also the likes of Ian Pryor and McIntyre in that back line. So I'm always worried that it could be trouble for the Blues. Hercules says, oh my word, Blues making cup. Exactly. You know, we want them to lead this. At the moment, as it stands, they are on top of the lock. So they just need to win this. That's all they need to do to secure the top spot. Nothing spectacular needed. They can go for goal when they need to. They can run it when they want to, but they just need to win this. That is the most important thing here for this Western Force for the Blues side today. It is going to be a scrum down to the Western Force, but just some attention to a few injured players at the moment. Eden Park will be the venue next weekend. I'm very sure of it. They will be hosting the Highlanders in the final. And who knows, this might be the Blues here. Who knows? We say that every year. This is the closest they've come. Ian Pryor to feed this scrum for the Western Force. Roundabout on the 10-meter line inside their own half, and a penalty to the Blues. Illegal scrummaging from the Western Force there. And like I said, they just have to win this game. Nothing special needed. Maybe Otera Black can just put this, line this up and kick for goal. But they clearly have a different opinion to that, as they are going to go for touch from here. Oteri Black puts it into touch roundabout. Let's see, roundabout on the 22-meter line. So an attacking line out coming up for the Blues, roundabout on the 22-meter line. So Achilles, I will make you moderator again for that big game tonight between the Bulls and the Sharks, if you're going to watch, because I think the chat will be a lot more lively in that game. Patrick Tuipoloto at the back, Dalton Papaline gives it out to Oscar Satuto over the 22-meter line. They go. Here comes Finley Christie. Out it goes to Renata. Renata on the drive here. 10 meters out from the try line. Finley Christie tried to snipe on his own, but held up very well there by the Western Force now. Carl Renata again. 5 meters out, the Blues now. Chance here, Nipo Lalala. Puts his head down, but in trouble they are. It's been turned over by the Western Force now. Ian Pryor's got it, and a penalty to the Western Force now. Bad mistake from the Blues. Lee Warner getting that penalty for the Western Force. And Neville says, Cricky, at least there's one more try before halftime will be nice. And then, I'll be there here tonight, 100%, says Achilles. So the kick out into touch, run about 5 meters out from the 22 of the Western Force. Achilles says, I won't miss tonight for anything or anyone. Good to know. Right, so 25 minutes gone in this first half. It's an opportunity now for Kaitu to throw this into the line-out for the Western Force. It's taken by Lee Warner off the back now. McIntyre, but the throw-in was not straight, so it's going to be a scrum down to the Blues here, and another chance for them to maybe score here. Who knows? There's still 14 minutes left in this first half, and it's all to play for. 7 points to 0. You would really want, if you're a Blues supporter, that this score can maybe just climb a little bit more, maybe another try, and we will feel a bit more comfortable. But at the moment, we don't feel comfortable at all. The Western Force really tried to disrupt this Blues side today. 14 minutes left in this first half. It is Finley Christie to feed the scrum between the 10 and the 22-meter line of the Western Force. Right, scrum looks good. Controlled of the back now, Finley Christie. Out it goes to Bryce Heem, charging his way up to the 22-meter line now. Strong run. Now Finley Christie. Out it goes to Patrick Tuipolotto. He's been such a workhorse in this Blue side. Now Christie again. Out to Nipo Lalala. 10 or 15 meters out from the try line out. Here's the Blues now. Patrick Tuipolotto taking it up yet again for them. Finley Christie waiting for the ball now. Needs to come out quicker. Tom Robinson. Good support play from Oscar Satuto and Tom Robinson. Still coming back for Finley Christie now. Settling down is this Blue side now. Tom Robinson again. 10 meters out from the try line now. Finley Christie. Patrick Tuipolotto again. 5 meters out now. Finley Christie. Out it goes to Terry Black now. Rico Ioane, long pass out to Mark Talia. It was a little bit sloppy, but he's got enough pace to go over for another try for the Blues. So it is going to be 12 points to 0 now after about 28 minutes of play. Great stuff from the Blues. And such a strong runner as Mark Talia. And that is a great try. Bryce Heem, the guy who took it up very nicely from the first scrum. And then from there, they just set it up with the forwards, doing a good job. And then Rico Ioane with a bit of a sloppy pass out to Mark Talia, but he had enough space and gas to get over in the corner there for the Blues' second try of this game. So the Blues on their way to the final, who will be hosting the Highlanders next weekend in the final if this score stays the same. Achilles says, there is the try I was talking about. One more, please. So 12 points to 0, 28 minutes gone in this first half, and the Blues now looking set to reach the first ever Trans-Tasman final of 2021. Conversion coming up from O'Terry Black now. Can he get it from the corner? About 5 meters out from the left-hand touchline. He's had 24 attempts this season in Trans-Tasman. 21% successful, or 21 successful, 84% record so far. The conversion is a beauty, and it's straight through the middle. So 14 points to 0 after 29 minutes of play. The Blues looking set to reach the final. Great stuff from the Blues. Not choking today. No way. And Neville says, oh dear. So, and Neville, are you supporting the Western Force today, or are you backing the Blues? Restart by the Western Force, taken beautifully by Patrick Tuipolotto. 5 meters out from their own 22, the Blues now. Finley Christie gets it out to Zahn Sullivan. who gives it out to Kauli Tiotti, still just outside the 22. Right, comes out to Zahn Sullivan with the kick downfield. It is straight down the middle into the hands of Rob Carney. McIntyre now. Chance for Carl Godwin just inside the half of the Blues now. Ian Pryor, McIntyre out to Rob Carney again. So, and Neville Akili says, I am a Crusader. Right, so on halfway, the Western Force on the attack now. Ian Pryor out to Carl Godwin. Warner Lee out it goes to Kahui. Knocked on by Koteka. And we're going to come for a scrum down to the Blues just inside the half of the Western Force. We've got 10 minutes left in this first half. It's 14 points to 0. The Blues leading the Western Force at the moment. And Neville says, LOL, yep. So, and Neville is a big Crusaders fan, and it must be really bad. I felt sorry for the Crusaders this morning. They tried so hard to get that last try, and unfortunately, things just didn't work out for them in the end. Akil is asking, do you want the hug? Right, so in the meantime, there might be a little trouble for the Blues here, as it is going to be Tom Robinson down for the Blues. So Akira Ioane will be coming on for Tom Robinson. It's not a bad substitution to have, you know. And Neville says, luckily the Blues have Barrett. So Barrett is not playing for the Blues at the moment. And Neville, he is playing in Japan. So I don't know. He will probably be back next season for the Blues, however. But for now, he is not playing for the Blues side. Right, so 9 minutes left in this first half. 14 points still. The leading with a scrum down to come just inside the Western Force half. Can they do something with this? Akira Ioane on for Tom Robinson. A very good replacement to have. Scrum down to the Blues. It is going to be a reset scrum again. But how dangerous has this Blues side been on the attack? I mean, you've got the likes of Rico Ioane, TJ Fayani, Mark Talia, Bryce Heem. Then you've got Zahn Sullivan as well there. Then you've got Finley Christie cleaning out quick ball for this Blues side. You've got a pack of forwards who's just bashing your way forward, like the likes of Hoskins Satuto, Dalton Papali'i, Patrick Tuipoloto. And then to make it even worse, you've got guys like Nipo Lolala and Kurt Eklund darting down at you all the time. Achilles says, when we face Ireland, that's going to be a tough match. Absolutely. Here comes the Blues again. Mark Talia puts it to the boot. The chase is on, but beautifully collected by Rob Carney. Puts it to the boot, but not going to find touch. Into the hands of Zahn Sullivan now. Can he do something with this? Puts it to the boot as well. Trying to find space, and it's going to find touch. 5 meters inside the 22 of the Western Force. Great little kick from Zahn Sullivan. 8 minutes to go in this first half. Yeah, I don't know who to back in that final. Achilles, obviously, I'm going to back the Blues, but I'm a little bit wary of that Highlanders side that they've really improved so much in the course of a few years' time, or even during the season, because they didn't have the greatest of Aotearoas, but they're going to reach the final of the Trans-Tasman. Line out taken by Akira Ioane off the back there. Now there's a chance here for the Blues inside the 22 of the Western Force now. Here they come. Kurt Eklund driving his way forward. Finley Christie now. Out it goes to Dalton Papali'i. 10 meters out from the try line. Finley Christie. Out it goes to Fayani, Rico Ioane. They've lost a bit of ground here as the Blues now. Held up in the tackle. Really well by the Western Force. Still going forward as the Blues though. Here comes Kauli Tiotti. 5 meters out from the try line. Over the ball goes Cullum. But it's going to be a penalty advantage to the Blues now. Hoskins Satuto, beautiful little pass to Terry Black. And Dalton Papali'i dives over for the Blues' third try. Brilliant stuff. What a pass there from Hoskins Satuto. The skill level shown by him there is just amazing. Dalton Papali gets the third try for the Blues here and a bonus point as well. Achilles says, I'm confident with the Blues, and then Neville says, Blues all the way. Achilles says, but the Highlanders will definitely, but the Highlands definitely improved a lot. Absolutely. Try down to the Blues with about 7 minutes to go in this first half. It's looking all more clear that the Blues will be reaching that final. Great stuff from the Blues. Unbelievable stuff here. Just soaking up that pressure early on and now starting to really open up this game for them. So the Blues to lose this game now will be quite a tremendous feat from the Western Force, but I just can't see this happening at all. Conversion right under the post now for Terry Black. He's going to get this easily. So 21 points to 0. It is the Blues leading with 5 minutes to go in this first half. Great stuff from the boys. This is how you reach a final, by suffocating your opposition. Unbelievable stuff from the Blues. Can't stop saying that. This is the Blues here for Trans-Tasman. Might have not have been for Super Rugby Aotearoa, but definitely it's looking good for them for the Trans-Tasman. Restart taken now by the Blues. Finley Christie's got it. 5 meters out from his own 22. Patrick Tuipolotto at scrum off. Kali Tiotti now Terry Black. No look pass out to Bryce Heen. Puts it to the boot and the chase is on now. Can Rob Carney get there in time? It is Zon Sullivan chasing after this, but Carl Godwin. No, McIntyre is the one who dots it down for the Western Force. 22-meter restart now with 4 minutes to go in this first half. Achilles, Guru, just to be safe, what time do the Bulls and Sharks play exactly? That is at 7 o'clock tonight. Let's just make sure. It is, it's 6 o'clock, 10 past 6, the start of the game between the Sharks and the Bulls. So the game between the Stormers and the Lions have been cancelled or been called off. So we won't be doing that. I will instead maybe do one of the English Premiership semi-finals in Bristol Bears and Sale Sharks, both in a game at that same slot of time. The restart by the Western Force now, and the Blues have got possession on a 10-meter line inside Western Force half. Good Eklund. Out it goes to Hoskins, to Akira Ioane, making his way forward now. Finley Christie. Nipo Lalala puts his head down. About 10 meters out from the 22 now. Terry Black, a little knock on from TJ Fayani on the 10-meter line inside Western Force half. And now a chance here for the Western Force. Lee Warner trying to make his way up to the 10-meter line inside their own half. Jeremy Frost gets it out to McIntyre. Now Carl Godwin. Carl Godwin puts it to the boot and into the hands of Terry Black. Finley Christie on halfway now for the Blues. He breaks free, gets one, beats one defender, steps inside Akira Ioane. Now gives it out to Bryce Heen over the 22-meter line. They go 10 meters out from the try line. Akira Ioane again. Another chance here for the Blues before halftime, maybe. Patrick Tuipolotto darts down, puts his head down. 10 meters out from the try line. Now Finley Christie. Can he get there? Kali Tiotti driving his way up. Here we go again. Is the Blues. Zon Sullivan. Out it goes to Dalton Papali again. Still 5 meters out. Now Christie gives it to Renata. Still 5 meters out. Hoskins Satuto dots for the try line and gets it down for the Blues. Try number 4 for the Blues here. And they're running rampant against the Western Force. And Neville says, fudge, that's right. Right, so Hoskins Satuto dotting down for his second try of this game. And this game is really now out of the hands of the Western Force. Surely there's no way back for them. And the Blues are pure class in this game today. Great breakaway from the Blues there. Bryce Heen taking it up nicely. Then quick ball came back. Finley Christie to Carl Renata, who managed to work his way up and then pick and go from Hoskins Satuto. Try time Blues. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Great try from Hoskins Satuto. in a class of his own at the moment. Going to be very interesting to see how this All Black side looks like. Will they go with Hoskins at 2 at 8, Artie Sevilla at 7, and maybe who do they leave out now? Because you're looking at the other flankers that's available, and there's so many. Achilles says, here is a joke. Let's hear your joke. What do you call an ant who fights crime? A vigilante. Okay, no, that's a good one, Achilles. Vigilant. Right, so it's 28 points to 0 with a minute to go in this first half. Great stuff from the Blues. And they're definitely looking like securing this final spot in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Right, so 28-0, 30 seconds left in this first half. It's beautifully taken by Kali Tiotti there for the Blues. Just nothing going wrong for them at the moment. Finley Christie controlling at the back of that ruck. Now it comes out to Patrick Tuipolotto. Every time he touches the ball, they go forward by 10 meters. Up to the 10-meter line they go. Finley Christie controlling at the back. Now Dalton Papali'i. Finley Christie says that's going to be it for the first half. We're going into halftime, 28 points to 0. And what a lead for them. It's really incredible as we go into this halftime. 4 tries from them, brilliantly done. What a dominant display from this Blues side at halftime. We are going to take a quick break, but when we do come back, we will do that second half. Achilles, you can go on, do your moderating stuff while I'm going to fill my lungs and then come back firing for the second half. Right, so we will be back in a short while, guys. Right, guys, we are back now for the second half. Let's quickly just go through some stats before I bring up the rest of the second half for you. Let's quickly go and have a look at it. 4 tries, 4 conversions, then 80% goals so far from the Blues. Total runs of 71 to comparing to the 35 of the Western Force. Then 285 meters run with the ball to the 83 of the Western Force. And it's not looking too great for them at the moment. Tries by Hoskins Satuto in the 10th minute. Try then by Mark Delia in the 28th minute. Also try by Dalton Papali'i in the 34th minute. And then a try by Hoskins Satuto on the stroke of half time as well. So it's been pretty damn good for them so far as we go into the second half. It's been really good for the Blues, looking really good here and on their way to the final of the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. You can't have it any other way at the moment. The Blues have just been really, really fantastic in this game. And if it wasn't so early here in South Africa, I would have probably cracked a brandy and cola, but it's a little bit early in the day. It's 10 o'clock in the morning here in South Africa, so can't just start drinking just yet. We will definitely have one with the Sharks and the Bulls game coming up a little bit later at 6:10 tonight, which will be a massive, massive encounter for both teams, because the winner of that game, if the Sharks can get 5 points from that, they will be going to that final if they can prevent the Bulls from getting a single point in that game as well. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough as a Sharks supporter. I don't see the Bulls losing, however, but, you know, miracles do happen, and the Sharks tend to show up when it matters. So we could be in for a cracking final game of South African Rainbow Cup as well. The winner of that game will be taking on Benetton Treviso in the Pro 14 Rainbow Cup final, which is so stupid to me, really, if you consider how this whole platform was laid out for the competition. Nobody would have imagined Benetton to reach that final in any way. So, yeah, it was just really, it's really upsetting to know that the best team in the Northern Hemisphere in the Pro 14 will not be playing in that final. 11J said, hope you're well. How's it going, 11J said? It's been a cracking first half here for the Blues, and I'm really looking forward to the second half. As a Blues supporter for the New Zealand franchises, I cannot be more happy with this result so far, and I'm sure all Blues supporters are so happy at the moment, and especially the Crusader supporters will be feeling left undone by the efforts this morning, when it looked like they were clearly going to run over this Rebel side earlier this morning, and they just couldn't do that in the end. Great fight back from the Rebels, showed some nitty-gritty towards the end, but the Blues are making sure that the Western Force don't give them the same medicine as the Rebels did this morning to the Crusaders. Yeah, just to get back to that Pro 14 final, what are your guys' thoughts on the fact that Benetton Treviso managed to make the final instead the likes of Leinster or Munster, or even the likes of the Ospreys or Glasgow Warriors? Because for me, it's just a joke. This competition from the start was a big joke to me. They should have just cancelled everything altogether at the start when they realized COVID will disrupt this competition. They just had to cancel it and maybe had another local competition or something, because it would have made for a grand finale today. But yeah, it's one of those things. We're going to have Benetton Treviso in the final of the Pro 14 Rainbow Cup final. Either the Sharks or the Bulls will be joining them in that final. And the news from South Africa is that none of the Springboks will be available for that final. So the team that wins today will probably have to go with a second string team to that final. But in the end of the day, I still think our second best will be better than Bennett and Treviso. 11J said also the Crusaders needed to improve their defense. Looks like it could cost them now. Absolutely. They, at the moment, as it stands, it will be a Blues Highlanders final. And I just can't see it going any other way for this Trans-Tasman. 11J said also said they have conceded too many points the last few weeks, which is true. They were unable to get that bonus points that would have helped them to get there today. They have conceded, as much as they've scored tries, they've also conceded quite a few tries down the line. And initially, that was what cost them their place in the final of this Trans-Tasman competition. But as far as this competition goes, for me, I just said the Rainbow Cup for me has been really poor, considering that we will have Bennett and Treviso in the final against a second stringer South African side, which just doesn't make sense in the bigger prospects of the competition. But hopefully the Pro 16 will be a lot better. But as far as the Trans-Tasman goes as well, I don't think, although the rugby was really good that we've seen so far, I just don't see the use of the competition because the Australian teams got hammered 22 times out of 24 times so far already. And it's probably going to end up with 23 wins out of 25 for the New Zealand franchises. 11J said if Bulls win, they will only miss 4 players, so they could still have a strong team with Hendricks, Coetzee, etc. Which is true, 11J said. The Sharks, on the other hand, will lose 9 players if they do manage to get to that final, which is highly unlikely. But like I said, the Sharks tend to show up when it matters the most. So an interesting game coming up later today. But now for the second half, it's going to be a much more enjoyable second half for us. No pressure. The Western Force have kicked this off, and they're on the attack early on here as they got the ball back from that restart. So now Pryor, out it goes to Tamani. Over the 10-meter line they go. Comes back to Pryor. Now McIntyre gives it out to Lee Warner. Now McIntyre again. Out Carl Godwin caught behind the advantage line there, but they've managed to get it back now. Pryor again. Jeremy Fruss. Tackled back by Carl Renata on halfway. The Blues have managed to look like they've managed to steal this now. Kurt Eklund's got it for the Blues. Now Finley Christie. Out it goes to Terry Black, who puts it to the bird and is going to look to find touch. 5 meters out from the 22 of the Western Force. Great stuff here from the Blues again, stealing that ball in the tackle. Great work from Carl Renata. He actually knocked that ball on, but the referee didn't see it and was play on. So, yeah, it is going to be now a line out to the Western Force on their 22-meter line. Throw in to come Kaitu to throw it in for the Western Force. Right, it's taken by Lee Warner there for the Western Force. They are going to try and maul this up now through the middle here, but not getting too much ground. Pryor waiting for the ball to come out now. He's going to go to the air with a box kick over the top. It is chased down by Richard Kahui, but Mark Talia has beautifully collected this on halfway for the Blues. Quick ball coming back for Finley Christie now. Out it goes to Nipo Lalala, taking 2 players with him, but a penalty for obstruction there against the Blues. So penalty to the Western Force now after 2 minutes of play in the second half. Still 28 points to 0. McIntyre to thump this into touch for the Western Force. He's going to find touch round about 5 meters out from the 22 of the Blues. The Blues need to be careful not to concede early points in the second half. Otherwise, this good lead of 28 points to 0 could quickly turn into a nightmare for them. Right, line-out throw-in coming for the Western Force now. Where's the jokes, Achilles? We're waiting for those jokes. Right, got 2 with the throw-in now to this line-out for the Western Force. 5 meters out from the 22 of this Blue side. Let's see what they can do. It is going to be taken here by Lee Warner, but it's stolen by the Blues, but picked up by Tom Robinson for Western Force. Guy 2 now 5 meters out from the try line. Here comes the Western Force now. It is Lee Warner who nearly darted straight through the middle there, but a little knock. Well, it's into touch really from the Western Force. So put into touch there, and it's going to be a line out to the Blues. 3 minutes into the second half. We're going to have a line out to the Blues about 5 meters out from their own try line. Gert Eklund with a throw into this line out. He's been a really good player today for this Blues side. Just controlling everything, stealing balls on the ground, bashing it up through the middle beautifully for this Blues side. Let's see what happens with this line out throw. It is going to be taken by Kaoli Tiotti at the back of that line out. It is now Finley Christie out to Oscar Satuto. Puts his head down about 10 meters out from the Blues try line. Finley Christie in control of that. It is coming back for the Blues now. Comes back out to Terry Black, who's going to put it down the boot. And not into touch, into the hands of Richard Kahui. Now gives it out to Rob Carney, who's going to have a run here. Rob Carney up to the 22-meter line for the Western Force. Pryor's got it now. It is Lee Warner putting his head down here. Over the 22 they go. Pryor again. Gives it out to Cullum. Cullum now. Pryor got his hands on the ball. He gives it out to Tamani. Still just inside the 22 of the Blues at the moment. Pryor to McIntyre to Rob Carney again. Great defense from Mark Talia there. Just stopping them in their tracks now. Pryor again. Tamani puts his head down again. Pryor waiting for the ball. Gives it out to Carl Godwin. Now it's Koteka. Koteka held up in a tackle by Hoskins Satuto and Patrick Tuipolotto. Now Lee Warner. Still just over the 22-meter line is the Western Force now. 8 phases. Pryor again. McIntyre. Carl Godwin. Straightening the line now for the Western Force. Pryor again. Gives it out to Koteka again. Great defense from the Blues side. Pryor, McIntyre, they're going nowhere at the moment. Still where they were 11 phases ago. Carl Godwin, Tavita Kurandrani, tackled by Bryce Heen. Still on the 22-meter line, the Western Force now. Taken up again by Koteka. And it looks like Dalton Papalia's ripped this for the Blues. Here they come, Kauli Tiotti now. 5 meters out from their own 22 now. The ball spills out to Finley Christie. A bit under pressure here from Tavita Kurandrani. Gets the pass out to Akira Ioane. Still about 5 meters out from their own 22. Now it's a penalty to the Western Force. Holding on the ground by, Patrick Tuipolotto who got penalized there. Christian says, hi everyone. How's it going, Christian? Hope you're good. What's your thoughts so far on this Trans-Tasman? The Crusaders not doing enough this morning to secure their place in the final. The Blues are looking to cement their place at top of the lock and secure a home final for the next week's final between the Highlanders. Right, 6 minutes into the second half. The Blues have been defending for dear life at the start of the second half. Doing a great job so far in any case. So line out now to the Western Force. 5 minutes out. Taken there by Jeremy Frost. Now the Western Force trying to work their way up here through the middle. 5 meters out from the try line. Still in possession is the Western Force. Still going forward. Kaitu, the ball at the back of that maul. Still going forward is the Western Force. And now, meter short from the try line. Not getting there. Have the try been awarded to the Western Force now? It seems like Kaitu has gone over the try line here, and a try has been awarded to the Western Force. After 7 minutes in the second half, the Blues now under pressure. They just don't have to let go of this lead. Valetti Kaitu getting the try for the Western Force. Ruben Keith says, hi, how's it going, Ruben? Looking forward to tonight's final game of the Pro 14 Rainbow Cup SA between the Bulls and the Sharks. obviously, I know you are backing the Bulls for a victory tonight. What do you think of the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman so far? The Blues now in a comfortable lead going into this last 30 minutes or so of this game, but still anything can happen. We don't want the Western Force to come back into this game. Ian Pryor is going to do the conversion attempt here for the Western Force. We've had about 9 minutes in this second half. Conversion coming up. Let's see if he can get this for them. And Neville says, they must have had a good telling off half time. Is the Western Force. Yeah, they've been dominating the start of the second half by pretty much every way possible. So hopefully the Blues can hold out here. We don't want it to come down to the last 10 minutes. Ruben Kiss says, I hope that the Bulls win tonight. And he also likes the Blues a lot more than the Western Force. Absolutely. I think everybody here in this chat are backing the Blues to win this game. We obviously got some Crusaders fans hoping that things change dramatically here in the second half. Right, so 9 minutes into the second half, restart from the Blues into the hands of Carl Godwin, who's got enough time to thump this downfield, but not going to find touch. Or has he? Yes, he has. And a brilliant touch finder from him, roundabout between the halfway and the 10-meter line inside Blues half. Will we see a fight back from the Western Force here in the second half? Throw in from Kurt Eklund now for the Blues. Their jumpers have been really solid. And as I say that, they make a fumble, but they do get it back. But this throw-in wasn't straight, and it's going to be a scrum down to the Western Force. So little mistakes starting to creep in from this Blues side. They've been so brilliant in that first half. We don't want to see them going backwards here in the second half. Christian says, I think that lead is just too big, but a few tries from the Force might open it up for sure. I think so too, Christian, but that's the thing with this Blues side. You never know what they're going to do, you know. One moment they're brilliant, which they've been absolutely in this first half. And now for this first 10 minutes, it's been a little bit jiggly for them. But it's the way they started the first half as well. So hopefully they can turn this around and get a few more tries just to show their power going forward to that final. But never write off the Western Force. Big scrum this time from the Blues, and they've managed to win the penalty. Big scrum from a big back. There've been lots of talks about this New Zealand backer forwards of the Blues, and Carlton McCuffey and Alex Hodgman. Well, it's not Alex; it's called Renata, who's on for the Blues, and they've just smashed the Western Force in that scrum. Right, so kick downfield from Oteri Black now. He's going to find touch roundabout on the 22-meter line inside Western Force half. 4 tries to 1, the Blues leading 28 points to 7. We've got still plenty of time left in this game. Kurt Eklund to throw this in for the Blues. They're taking the time going to this line out. Changes are plenty now for the Western Force as they bring on all their replacements here. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Andrew Reddy, Angus Warner, Greg Holmes, all coming on for the Western Force now after that bad scrum from them. Kurt Eklund with a throw in. It's been stolen by Tamani for the Western Force. And here comes Lee Warner up to the 10-meter line inside their own half. Now the Western Force. Looks like the Blues have somehow snatched this. And now Akira Ioane out it goes to Oscar Satuto. Long cut out pass to Zahn Sullivan. Rika Ioane back inside to DJ Fayani. And Oscar Satuto might be in for a hat-trick here. But they get called back for a knock-on. Unfortunately, the one pass was knocked on. And I think it's Zahn Sullivan who knocked that on. Whether it was backwards or forwards, we'll have to watch on the replay. But nearly Oscar Satuto over for a hat-trick. Great steal on the ground from Finley Christie. which turned that ball over for the Blues. And from there, they just went wide. It was Rico Ioane who stepped inside, got the pass out to TJ Fayani. Yeah, he was the guilty party. It went forward out of his hand to the head of the Western Force and then back into the hands of Hoskins Satuto. So scrum down on the 22-meter line for the Western Force now. They'll be looking to try and get out of their own 22 here. They've definitely taken it to the Blues here in the second half so far. Now it comes out to Richard Kahui from that scrum. He kicks it downfield straight into the hands of Zahn Sullivan. And he's going to run it up to halfway, puts a little kick ahead. Is he chasing after this? Yes, he is. But Price underneath it, and he's got it out to Rob Carney, who puts it to the bird as well. Now into the hands. Oh, it goes into touch. Price team didn't want to play that ball. Let it run into touch. It's going to be a line up to the Blues. Roundabout on their own 10-meter line inside their half. Right, we've got about 27 minutes left in this game. The Blues still holding on to a 21-point lead so far. Kurt Eklund with a throw into this line-out. It's important that he gets this. Lost his last line-out throw, or not, didn't go in straight. Now Patrick Tuipoloto collects it for the Blues there. The maul has been formed. Jeremy Frost disrupting that ball with full force. And this could be trouble for the Blues if they can't get us out. Yep, they have lost that maul. It's going to be a scrum down to the Western Force. Roundabout on the 10-meter line inside Blues half. And things are looking a lot different in the second half so far. Right, so with about 26 minutes left in this game, the Western Force are really looking to put this Blues side under pressure here in the second half. They've definitely not given up at all. The former New Zealand Jeremy Frost at the helm there for the Western Force, trying to disrupt them. TJ Fayani has also been replaced, bringing on Harry Plummer for the Blues side as well now. He's had a pretty solid game for the Blues tonight, and probably one of the most underrated centres in New Zealand rugby as well. We've seen Ngani Lamape now leaving New Zealand rugby to go and play in France, and I still feel it's a big shame, because for me, Ngani Lamape was one of the best centres New Zealand have produced in the last couple of years. But anyway, TJ Fayani, like I say, very underrated in New Zealand. As the lock stands at the moment, the Blues will be on top. The Highlanders in second place, with the Crusaders in third. So with 25 minutes to go in this game, they are looking at something as the referee now, Ben O'Keefe. So I'm not sure if there's any foul play or maybe down the line. Patrick Tuipoloto looking a little bit concerned here. Let's see what the TMO says. Oh, it is Patrick Tuipoloto who dived into that ruck. So let's see if there's anything dangerous about this. I don't know. For me, there wasn't much in it, but penalty might be awarded to the Western Force at least. At most, he could be facing a yellow card for that as Patrick Tuipoloto, but I think it was a pretty decent clear out from him. So let's see what Ben O'Keefe have to say to Patrick Tuipoloto there. It is going to be a penalty to the Western Force. So it's the least of the damage to the Blues here. But a chance now for the Western Force to put this into touch. And with 25 minutes to go, anything can still happen in this game. McIntyre puts this into touch, finding touch round about 5 meters inside the 22 of the Blues. So not the greatest of touch finders there. It could have been so much better. Right, let's see what the Western Force can do with this line out. It is taken quickly, taken by Jeremy Frost off the back. The maul has been formed and they're going forward at a full throttle here. Is the Western Force 10 meters out from the try line now. Andrew Reddy with the ball at the back of that maul. Still going forward is the Western Force. About 15 meters out from the try line. Now Pryor. Out it goes to Carl Godwin, straightening the line. Needs support now. Pryor. McIntyre. Out it goes to Rob Carney. Gets the beautiful pass out to Richard Cowie. 5 meters out from the try line is the Western Force now. Pryor again ready. 3 meters out from the try line is the Western Force now. Pryor waiting for the ball. It's coming back to Lee Warner. Good tackle there from Dalton Papali'i. Still 2 meters out now, Pryor. Pryor gives it out to Greg Holmes there for the Western Force. Pick and go from them 2 meters out. Can they dot down for another try here? Now it's McIntyre. Beautiful angle from Davita Kurandrani. And he goes over for the try for the Western Force. Great stuff here from the Western Force. Putting more pressure on this Blues side now. And watch out, we're in for a second half of epidemic proportions. If this Western Force side can hit back now with 24 minutes to go, they're now going to be probably trailing by just 14 points. But what an angle Tavita Kurandrani ran into, and what a try from the Western Force. It's definitely not the same Blues side that we saw in the first half. This Blues side now in trouble here. The Western Force doing a great job at the moment. What is going on with the scoreboard here at the moment? Let's quickly go and have a look if we can maybe get the screen to look a little bit better now. There we go. So just making a little bit of an adjustment there. 28 points to 12. And with 23 minutes to go in the second half, Pryor now with a conversion attempt. Trouble in paradise. And Neville says, oh, wow. Yep, the Western Force now back with a bang here. 28 points to 14, the scoreline. And we've got 23 minutes to go in this game. This is going to come down to the wire, it seems. Who would have imagined that this could be a turnaround in this game? Come on. Let's see who's going to come onto the field now for the Blues. They have made a couple of more changes, I think it is. Restart now from the Blues. A high-hanging kick taken by Jeremy Frost for the Western Force. 4 tries to 2 at the moment. Ian Pryor waiting for the ball at the back of this ruck. 5 meters outside their own 22 now. Pryor, he's going to put this up high into the air. Who's going to chase this down? Oliver Feller was chasing hard. And a penalty to the Western Force. Obstruction there from the Blues. And here comes the Western Force again. Well, it just sums up the story of the Blues so far. They've been absolutely brilliant at times and then absolutely woeful at certain times as well. Line out 5 meters out from the 22. Western Force now with another opportunity here. Bryce Heem, the guy penalized there for taking out Oliver Feller in the air. Line out beautifully taken by Jeremy Frost. Now McIntyre straightening the line as Tavita Kurandrani. Brought down by Dalton Papali'i there. Pryor again. Now it comes out to Tamani. Good tackle from Renato on him. Here comes Cullum. Out it goes to McIntyre. Carl Godwin out to Rob Carney. This Western Force team are now playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. 5 meters out from the 22 now. Pryor waiting for the ball. Gives it out to Lee Warner. Lee Warner a little bit isolated there. Penalty to the Blues. And players joining from the side is the call from from Benekith. Tom Robinson, the guy penalized there for the Western Force. So a relieving chance now for the Blues to put this into the Western Force half and maybe go for the first attack of the second half. We haven't seen them play any rugby in the second half, is the Blues. Apart from that nearly try from Oscar Setuto, it's been all Western Force here in the second half. Blues finds touch, roundabout between the 10 and the halfway line of the Western Force. Line out coming up for the Blues. Trouble in paradise for them. Kurt Eklund with a throw in now. He is not going to find his jumper. Stolen by Tamani for the Western Force. On halfway comes Jeremy Fruss. Up to the 10-meter line inside Blues off now. Pryor. Out it goes to Koteka. Bursting his way over the 10-meter line. Now Pryor again. McIntyre switches with Carl Godwin. Carl Godwin nearly getting past Carlton McGuffey there. Now Pryor again. Tom Robinson. McIntyre out to Jeremy Fruss. Still on the 10-meter line now, the Western Force. Brian McIntyre out to Tamani. Little bit caught behind the advantage line there on that occasion. And the Blues over that ball in a flash. But somehow the Western Force has got this back now. Koteka again. Trying to drive his way up. Bit isolated. Hoskins Satuta over that ball. And a penalty to the Blues this time round. Holding on the ground is the Western Force. And another chance now to out of their own half again. Achilles says, I'm still here, just a bit quiet, LOL. Still waiting for those few jokes, Achilles. You started off with a bang, don't leave us in the air, man. O'Terry Black with the kick downfield is going to find touch roundabout between the 22 and the 10-meter line this time. So a chance now for the Blues to maybe get a try or just waste a bit of time going into this last 18 minutes of the game. It is a tough second half here for the Blues so far. And who expected this to happen? After leading 28 points to 0 at halftime, you would expect the Blues to be ahead by 50-odd points now. Right, Kurt Eklund with the throw-in. Josh Goodyear is on for Dalton Papali. Right, Achilles says, the jokes. Here we go. Right, throw-in from Kurt Eklund. Taken by Patrick Tuipolotto. Now, Mark Talia making his way up to 5 meters out from the 22 now. Finley Christie waiting the ball. Kurt Eklund puts his head down. Just outside the 22 now, Patrick Tuipolotto with hands on the ball. They do form a maul here as the Blues, and they are trying to work their way up now. Inside the 22, still going as the Blues now. 10 meters out from the try line, still going as the Blues. Penalty advantage coming for them. And surely they can even just kick this for goal. Penalty coming for the Blues now. And that is a chance now for the Blues to maybe take a resounding 17-point lead maybe. And Neville says, this is a quick game. And then Ruben Kiss, what time does the Bulls play? They're playing 10 past 6 tonight, Ruben. So looking forward to that. So Terry Black have decided now to go for goal here, right in front of the post. So it should turn into a 31-14 lead for the Blues with around 18 or 17 minutes to go in the second half. Right, so I've got a joke for you guys, at least while we wait for yours. My joke for today is the Crusaders are playing in a final against the Highlanders. That is the only rugby joke I could come up with at this stage. But unfortunately, it looks like the Blues are going to cement their place in the final. Kick from Terry Black goes straight through the middle. So 31-14 it is now. Can the Western Force do something magical like they've done so far in the second half and really put the pressure on this Blues side? As we see Jonathan Ruru also onto the field now. 16 minutes to go in the second half. Can the Western Force come back in this game? Right, the kickoff has been knocked. No, it's been knocked on the chest of the Western Force, so they got it. Lee Warner, out it goes to Koteka. Defense needs to be solid from the Blues now. On the 10-meter line, Lee Warner trying to bash his way over the advantage line. Right, so the Blues now putting pressure on the Western Force. Another penalty to the Blues now on the 10-meter line and a chance for them to clear their line again. Achilles says, when does a joke become a dad joke? When a punchline is apparent. Yeah, no, that's a good one. And Neville says, yep, the Blues have it. So, yeah, let's put your little joke on for a while there. When does a joke become a dad joke? When a punchline is apparent. Yeah, I know. You're coming up with some good jokes here, Achilles. And Neville says, yup, Blues have it. Right, so with 15 minutes to go, Macaulay's now on for Tamani for the Western Force as well. Nuya is on for Eklund, who's had a phenomenal game for this Blues side. About 5 meters out from the 22 now. Nuya with his first throw into this game. Can the Blues seal this game now? Come on, Nuya, throw this ball in. Gets it, but it's stolen by Jeremy Frost, and the lineouts is in disarray at the moment for the Blues. Ian Pryor, out it goes to McIntyre. Gives it out to Carl Godwin, now to Vita Kurandrani. Vita Kurandrani held up by Hoskins Satuto and Harry Plummer, and this could be stolen ball now for the Blues. They're not going to get this out. The ball goes down, and it is a scrum down to the Blues, roundabout on the 10-meter line inside the Western Force half. And Neville says it would have been phenomenal play from the Force to take it from here. Now, absolutely, I agree with you there, Neville. But at least they've tried really hard here in the second half. Really doing well at line-out time. Jeremy Frost and Tamani has really dominated the line-outs for the Western Force in the second half. And we've seen some really good play from him. See that Miotti is now on for McIntyre as well for the Western Force. So with 14 minutes to go, 31-14, if the Force can score a quick try, this could be game on. So more changes coming on now for the Western Force as well. It looks like, let's see who that replacement is. It's Brainard Stander who's on for Callan. So they bring on the cavalry now as the Western Force as well. The runner scrum reset coming up here. Achilles also say, what kind of tree fits in your hand? A palm tree. That's a cheesy one, Achilles. But a very good one again. What kind of tree fits in your hand? A palm tree. Pretty original, that one, Achilles. Right, so 14 minutes to go in this game. Can the Blues get another try here before the end? Scrum down on a 10-meter line, taken by Hoskins Satuto off the back, puts it to the bird. Only he can do that sort of stuff, and it's a really good kick. Now under pressure is the Western Force. Carl Godwin needs to kick this away inside his own dead ball line, and he's not going to find touch. And it's going to be a scrum down to the Blues, 5 meters out from the try line. And Neville says, LOL, well done. That palm tree joke was classical. Right, Miotti was the guy under pressure. Then he gave it out to Carl Godwin, and Carl Godwin just hammered it to nowhere. So 5 meter scrum now to the Blues. They can finish this off now. Is this Blues side? Wagner comes on for Tom Robinson for the Western Force as well. So I think that is almost all the replacements the Western Force could bring on in this game. 13 minutes to go in the second half. It looks like the Blues will secure this victory. 5 meter scrum to them. Jonathan Ruru to feed this to the scrum. Right, he gets it in for them. Big scrum from the Blues now. Hoskins Satuto off the back, gives it out to AJ Lamb, who's also on the field for the Blues now. 5 meters out from the try line. Jonathan Ururu waiting for that ball to come out. Kali Tiotti, 2 meters from the try line now. It's the Blues. Gives it out to Patrick Tuipoloto. 1 meter short. It is Akira Ioane trying to dive over there. Held up beautifully by the Western Force. Now Jonathan Ururu. Out it goes to Plummer. And a no-look pass to Mark Talia, who gets the try down for the Blues. And that will be Good ball game as well with 12 minutes to go. Great try from Mark Talia again. Right, Achilles says, what did the little corn say to the mama corn? Where is the popcorn? That's a good one. I got the joke from a friend before, not mine. LOL, says Achilles. So what did the little corn say to the mama corn? Where is the popcorn? And that is the full game, guys. This is the Blues at full swing now, just sealing their fate here. Great try from the Blues. And just waiting for the scoreboard to be updated as well. Or are the referee looking at something? I'm not sure. I'm not aware of anything like that. So the try has been awarded. It's 36 points to 14 here with about 10 minutes to go in this game. Just awaiting flash score to update the scoreline. What an effort from the Western Force here in the second half to try and come back into this game, but just unfortunately not good enough for this blue side. Terry Black now going to try and convert this kick for them. 36 points to 14 with 10 minutes to go in the second half. Can they do something and score another 1 or 2 tries before the end of this game? Is this blue side? Oh, wait, the referee are going to have a look at something now. Taking forever to finally go upstairs. I did think that they would go upstairs maybe for a forward pass or something. So they're finally going to have a look at that. And Terry Black is a little bit frustrated with that because he already lined that up. Achilles asking, what animal is always at a baseball game? A bat, which makes sense. Bat, baseball bat. Another good one. Right, so let's see what the referee are looking for. Potential foul play. Let's have a look at this. Don't see anything at this stage. It was a shoulder charge from Josh Goodyear, I think it was. Let's just see if there was anything sinister in that move. Oh, in fact, it is Nuya who went in with a stray arm to the face of the Western Force player. And that could be a red card. Well, probably not a red, but very, very, very... Oh, no, that has got to be... well, can you say a punch to the face? Can we go so far and say that was a punch straight to the face? Or am I a bit overreacting here? Let's see what the referee decides. Obviously, he didn't intend to go in with a punch there, but he's definitely had some form of fist there to the face of one of the Western Force players. So let's see what the referee's decision will be. I think if this is a red card, then it could be the end of New Year's Trans-Tasman competition. I'm sure he didn't mean to go in with a punch to the face, but yeah, it is going to be luckily just a yellow card for him. So I really thought it was going to be worse for them. But a yellow card now to Ray Nuya for the for the Blues. And the try is going to be overturned as well. Neville says toot toot. Right, so yellow card to Ray Nuya for that, what looked like a punch to the face. Luckily for him, it wasn't intentional. Otherwise, it would have been a straight red card there. But yeah, so try has been overturned with 10 minutes to go in this game. It is going to be a Western Force penalty. So just waiting for Flash Score to update that scoreline again. We've got about 10 minutes left in this game. It is 31 points to 14, not 36 to 14 at the moment. Ray Nuya sent to the bin for what looked like a punch to the face, but wasn't intentional. Let's put it that way. Lineup taken beautifully by the Western Force now, but it's not straight, says the referee, and it's going to be a scrum down to the Blues here with 10 minutes to go in this game. Will the Blues be able to get another try here before the end of this game? It's been really good for the Western Force in the second half, having a better second half than the Blues have had, outscoring the Blues, I think, 2-1. So still waiting for them to update the scoreline. It's not been updated just yet. So hopefully they will fix that in a bit. So 9 minutes to go, 31 points to 14 it is, not 36-14 as it shows at the moment. Yeah, there we go. 31-14, 73 minutes gone, which is not 73, it's actually 70 minutes. So a little bit of mistakes from Flash Score at the moment, but we'll take it that way. Achilles says, imagine the Force score a quick 4 tries in 8 minutes. Wow, don't come and be bad luck, Achilles. The pass from the Western Force, a little bit of a mix-up here from the Western Force. Rob Carney luckily to get that into touch, but a little knock-on from the Blues by Rico Ioane. Went for the intercept, and yeah, unfortunately, not going to get there. The angle was beautiful from Rico Ioane, but yeah, so close again for the Blues, just not able to finish that off. Achilles says, imagine the Force score a quick 3 tries. Is that a joke, Achilles? Not 4 tries, I meant 3. I'm confused myself there. Yeah, no, look, 3 really quick tries will win them the game. But I can't imagine that happening in 8 minutes' time. Scrum down to the Western Force, runabout on their own 22-meter line here. And, well, nothing is impossible. We've seen worse things happen. Now it's Carl Godwin out to Rob Carney into space here over the 10-meter line. Up to halfway goes the Western Force now. Need quick ball now. Pryor. Jeremy Frasmiotti. Out it goes to Brainerd Stander on the 10-meter line. Ian Pryor again. Now it's Lee Warner taking it up for them. Right, here comes the Western Force again. It's Brainerd Stander again up to the 10-meter line. Miotti, out it goes to Rob Carney. Caught behind the advantage line as the Western Force now. It is Lee Warner bashing his way up to the 10-meter line now for the Western Force. Pryor waiting for that ball to come back now. Miotti, out it goes to Carl Godwin. Now finds Richard Kahui on the 22-meter line. Tackled by Mark Delia. And more trouble here for the Western Force now. Have they secured this ball? Yes, they have. Pryor waiting for support here. And now kick forward by Pryor as it goes into touch. Runabout on the 10-meter line inside Western Force half. So Bruno Perotti, I cannot show you any links to a live game because there isn't any on YouTube. So you will not find it on YouTube, Bruno Perotti. It is not. You'll have to get Rugby Pass, maybe Sky Sports or something to watch the game. But in the meantime, now it is taken by Jonathan Ruru up to Hoskins Satuto, over up to the 10-meter line inside Western Force. Half now, Mark Delia. Mark Delia caught behind the advantage line as well here. 6 minutes to go in this game. Jonathan Ruru. Out it goes to Patrick Tripolotto. Back inside to Josh Goodhue. Now Jonathan Ruru. Rico Ioane straightening the line on a 10-meter line. Taken up by Josh Goodhue here. And now Jonathan Ruru. Out it goes to Harry Plummer. Patrick Tripolotto bashing his way forward again. Up to the 10-meter line. Now Jonathan Ruru. Out to Harry Plummer with a little dab kick ahead. Bryce Heem is underneath that. Oh no, AJ Lamb is the guy, but into touch he goes. And yeah, it's one of those things. Just not being able to hold on to that. So Achilles says, Bruno, it's not ridiculous if YouTubers were allowed to show the game then Supersport will lose money. What's the use of a Supersport channel then? Yep, exactly. Bruno says download DSTV on Play Store, Sky Sport or something. That's what should be. And then Bruno says I could share you another link. Right, so with just 5 minutes to go in this game, it is the Blues leading by 31-14. Bruno Perotti says Kubali rules. Right, throw in here Miotti now with a little dab ahead into the hands of Zon Sullivan on the 10-meter line. The Blues have got this ball back now. Mark Delia. Out it goes to Harry Plummer. Beats one defender up to the 10-meter line. Very sloppy at the moment. Mark Delia. Now a chance here for Jonathan Ruru. Puts his head down. Over the ball is Lee Warner, but he can't get it for the Western Force. Now Cole Renata tried to get it out, but it's kicked forward by Miotti. And now a chance here. Richard Kahui chasing this one. Who's going to win this race to the ball? It is Zon Sullivan who's got it for the Blues. Intercepted by Richard Kahui. Here comes the Western Force. Roundabout on the 22-meter line now. Brenot Stunner's got it for the Western Force. Here comes the Western Force now. Kurandrani. Long cut pass intercepted by Harry Plummer. And 5 meters out from their own 22. But we're coming back for a penalty to the Western Force. Roundabout 10 meters from the try line. Well. Right, so kick from Miotti, finds touch 5 meters out from the try line. Can the Western Force do something before the end of this game? Maybe get a consolation try or something from this. But a great run here from Richard Kahui, nearly outrunning the younger guys there. But Jeremy Frost now got it, the line out at the back of this maul for them now. Still going forward is the Western Force, 5 meters out from the try line. It is controlled by the Western Force. Can they dot something down here? Comes out to Carl Godwin. Miotti. There's an overlap on the outside. Must score. Rob Carney dots it down for the Western Force with 3 minutes to go in this game. Try time, Rob Carney. Right, so there is no Kubeli today for the Western Force, Bruno. It is Michael McDonald who's on the bench for them today. I think Kubeli might be injured. That is the reason why they're not there. Right, so 31 points to 14 at the moment. Here we go. The kick goes over. It's 31-21. 10 points the difference. Right, so with 10 minutes, well, 2 minutes to go in this game, 10-point game at the moment. Don't think that the Western Force can still come back into this game and win it, but the Blues will be very disappointed with giving away that try towards the end of this game. 31-21, 2 minutes to go in this game. Right, here we go with the last 2 minutes of this game. Richard Kahui will be looking to maybe get another try here for the Western Force. Who knows? Restart from the Blues. Taken by Oliver Feller inside the 22 now. Defense needed to be really strong from the Blues now. Miotti. Out it goes to Rob Carney, to Davita Kurandrani. They're running this from the round 22. Davita Kurandrani. Over the 22 he goes. Quick ball needed now. Miotti. Out it goes to Carl Godwin. Gives it to Oliver Feller. Knocks it on. But he knocks it backwards though. And Carl Godwin picks it up and runs straight through the middle up to halfway. Just no support for him there. And now it comes back to the Western Force side. Intercepted by Harry Plummer for the Blues. Tries to get the offload to Akira Ioane. But back into the hands of the Western Force now. Very sloppy. Lee Warner's got it now. Up to the 10-meter line. Comes back from Brenot Stunner to Miotti. Now Carl Godwin. out to Richard Kahui. Richard Kahui gives it out to Greg Holmes, who gives it to Oliver Fellow, who goes on the run as well. Needs to get a quick offload, doesn't get it though. And it looks like it's been turned over by the Blues now on the 10-meter line. Right, Josh Goodhue with the ball in hand. There's no time left on this clock. Surely the kick downfield from O'Terry Black, and it's going to go over the dead. Whoa, will it? Yeah, it goes over the dead ball line. So I think we might come back for one last scrum in this game. Roundabout on the 10-meter line inside Western Force half. Time is up on the clock, and it should be the last scrum of this game. So I wonder what happens if the Blues concede another try here. 3 points, the difference could make for some interesting thoughts here. Let me see if I can pull up something here. Can't get the lock that I want at the moment. Super Rugby Trans-Tasman lock. The last scrum of this game, surely. And it's going to be a feed to the Western Force. Trying to pull up the lock here for the Trans-Tasman scrum feed now. So the Blues will end on top still, regardless. So the Western Force now on the attack inside the half of the Western Force of the Blues. Can they get this ball back? Though, no, it doesn't look like they will. And let's see what the referee says. That's going to be full time here. It is going to be the Blues victorious. Bruno, tell us, was a great game or just a game? No, it's been a brilliant game, Bruno. It had all the tension and drama. First half dominance from the Blues, scoring 28 points in that first half, and then just 3 points in the second, with the Western Force scoring 21 points altogether. So it was a pretty damn close one. And let's quickly go and have a look at this lock as it stands. Let me see if I can share my screen real quickly for you guys. So 31-21 is the final score here. Let's stop that screen and share another one. Where is it now? Let's just try and get that lock on for you guys. There we go. So there it is. Let's just make it a little bit bigger there for you guys to see. So Super Rugby Trans-Tasman standings. The Blues end on top with the Highlanders in second place. So it will be a Blues final for us here in next week's Trans-Tasman final at Eden Park. It's going to be the final between the Blues and the Highlanders, and really looking forward to that. It should be a cracking game. But you guys have been brilliant. I'm going to be back later today doing, let's see, I think we're going to do the Sales Sharks game. Exeter versus, no, it's not Exeter versus, it's Bristol. Yeah, it is actually Exeter versus Sales Sharks at 4 o'clock. We would have done the Stormers versus Lions game, but we'll do the semi-final between Exeter and Exeter Chiefs and Sales Sharks at 4 o'clock. I will not be doing the Waratahs Chiefs game, as there's just no reason to really do that, as the final has been secured by the Blues and the Highlanders. Just the dead rubber coming up after this. So expecting the Chiefs to really destroy the Waratahs in that last game. Just don't see the Waratahs winning anything. So as far as the live streaming goes, guys, I'll be back at 4 o'clock with the Exeter Chiefs versus Sales Sharks. Until then, see you guys next time.